Rolls-Royce makes the most luxurious cars in the world, and the richest people on Earth dream of owning one. But very few people know that this symbol of ultimate luxury was built by a boy who grew up in extreme poverty and child labor. This is the unbelievable story of Henry Royce. The story begins in 1863, in a small village in England, where Henry Royce was born. When Henry was just 4 years old, his father's business collapsed. The family lost everything and was forced onto the streets, but this was only the beginning of his struggles. At the age of 9, Henry lost his father forever. His mother had no choice but to work as a maid to survive, and young Henry began delivering newspapers to support the family. At that time, his future seemed completely dark, but at the age of 14, something unexpected happened. One of Henry's aunts noticed his intelligence and determination. She believed he had potential. She helped him secure an apprenticeship at the Great Northern Railway Company. From that moment, Henry's life began to change. For the next 3 years, he worked day and night. He studied dozens of books, learned carpentry, mathematics, and most importantly, electrical engineering. By the age of 17, Henry Royce had become a highly skilled mechanic. At 21, he was working as an engineer at a company called Maxim Western. But soon, the company faced serious financial trouble and was close to shutting down. Henry had opportunities to join other companies, but instead of choosing safety, he chose risk. With just £20 in savings, he started his own electrical engineering company in Manchester, F.H. Royce and Company. In the beginning, survival was difficult. Henry repaired sewing machines, installed electrical fittings, and did any work he could find. But he noticed something important. The demand for electrical fittings and lighting was growing rapidly. He began manufacturing R-clamps, bulb holders, and electric doorbells. This decision changed everything. By the year 1900, the company's annual sales had crossed £20,000. Henry was now 38 years old. He had a family, and he was planning to build a large factory. Life finally seemed stable, but then came another twist. In 1901, German and American companies entered the British electrical market. Competition increased, prices dropped, and Henry's business began to collapse. As his company failed, Henry's physical and mental health deteriorated. When he consulted a doctor, the advice was simple. He needed fresh air and rest. The doctor recommended that Henry buy a car so he could travel without physical strain. Henry purchased a French-made car. But the experience disappointed him. The car was noisy, the brakes were unreliable, and overheating was a constant problem. For a perfectionist like Henry Royce, this was unacceptable. So he decided to make small improvements, but instead of fixing the car, he ended up redesigning it. The modified car was far superior to the original. That moment changed Henry's life forever. He realized that he could build a better car and possibly start a car company. Henry assembled a small team and began designing his own vehicle. By 1904, his 10-horsepower, two-cylinder car was ready. On the 1st of April, 1904, the car was tested on the road. It traveled 50 kilometers without a single problem. 2 more cars were built, tested, and improved. They were quiet, lightweight, reliable, and durable. But Henry lacked the ability to sell these cars on a large scale. That's when the second hero of the story appeared, Charles Rolls. Charles Rolls was a passionate motorist and a successful car dealer. He was searching for a high-quality British car. When he saw Henry Royce's cars at an exhibition, he was amazed. After inspecting them closely, Charles said he had found the world's greatest engineer. In 1906, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce agreed to form a partnership. The name of the car would be Rolls-Royce. In March 1906, Rolls-Royce Limited was officially established. The company launched multiple models, 10, 15, 20, and 30 horsepower. To market their cars, Rolls-Royce participated in prestigious racing events. They won races, broke records, and quickly built a reputation for excellence. But their greatest creation was yet to come. Later in 1906, Rolls-Royce introduced a 6-cylinder car with 40 to 50 horsepower. It was exceptionally smooth and silent. It felt ghost-like. And that's why it was named the Silver Ghost. To prove its reliability, Rolls-Royce conducted an endurance test of 24,000 kilometers. The car ran continuously for over 2 months, without any failure. In another demonstration, a coin was balanced on the bonnet while the car was driven. The coin didn't fall. The Silver Ghost became known as the best car in the world. Kings, queens, and industrial leaders chose Rolls-Royce. But just as success peaked, tragedy struck. In 1910, Charles Rolls died in a plane crash at the age of 32. Henry Royce was deeply affected by the loss. Then, in 1911, he was diagnosed with cancer. Doctors gave him only 3 months to live, but Henry refused to give up. He continued working on improving the Silver Ghost, and against all odds, he fully recovered. Rolls-Royce continued to grow. In 1914, World War I began. Luxury car sales collapsed, and the company faced severe losses. But instead of giving up, Rolls-Royce adapted. They converted the Silver Ghost into armored military vehicles and ambulances. Thousands of lives were saved. Rolls-Royce also began manufacturing aircraft engines. These engines played a critical role in Britain's victory during the war. After the war, Rolls-Royce returned to luxury cars. They launched the Phantom, a car that restored their dominance. In 1931, Rolls-Royce acquired Bentley, but in 1933, Henry Royce passed away at the age of 70. He never saw how legendary his creation would become. Today, Rolls-Royce is more than a car. It is a symbol of perfection, resilience, and uncompromising quality. From poverty to perfection, this is the legacy of Henry Royce.